second of two games tonight. It's the Browns and Steelers underway to wrap up week 2. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And his first pass is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the third-year man, Najee Harris. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
A nice carry by Harris, who had tougher sledding than in his Pro Bowl rookie season, but still topped 1,000 yards as a Steelers sophomore. As Pittsburgh tries to climb back to the top of the AFC North, he remains a player that their offense relies on.
In motion comes the tight end left. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Browns are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
With a new contract comes increased expectations, and Njoku did his part. Caught 58 passes and went out a couple of other career bests. If injuries didn't cost him some time, he gets the first down there with that catch.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
On first down, Watson. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
So from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 3. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries in the ballgame. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they...
Pickett lost it. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it through the middle of the field. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes with it, oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Steelers.
That was a special return.
And it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out. And he returns this to the 22. The Cleveland offense ready to go. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have the Steelers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. The Steelers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Browns 14, Steelers 7.
Harris is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He'll buy some time right. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Kenny Pickett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from drawing level.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Watson just beating the play clock. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now it's Watson. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Back to throw, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Sliding out of the pocket. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still what?
And it'll be intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
They'll start the drive with Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Pickett will look to throw it here. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Maurice Hurst coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up fourth. So on fourth down, the Steelers going to bring in Braden Mann to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Moore on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
To throw on second is Watson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, it's Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. Watson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now Watson going to change the look here. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. That is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back in the back 7, phenomenal.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Pickett. And the catch made by Johnson. On the move past the 40 and down to the 29-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go, and of course they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break.
These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh.
Coachman,
and to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon
report.
in charge.
Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Watson. It's caught. Cooper. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Watson changing the play. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Watson. Going up top. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Second down. Here's Chubb again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. York able to send this one through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he stopped immediately there. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Back to throw, Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 63 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Running game's playing a huge part in getting him down to this point in the field. I say stay with it.
keep pounding the football, keep driving, keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
Well, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Plays like that. A defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team, always wanted to be the tailback carrying the ball, trying his best to lug that bad boy the distance.
Pretty impressive pick there off the screen, and then a nice return.
You know, nowadays, they do more ball drills with the big guys than ever before because they want to take possessions away from the offense.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now Pickett on 4th down. Flush to his right. They've got his man complete. And he is going to have the Steelers first down, and he'll have it by 20 as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down.
Boy, for most of us, that is taking a big risk in the 4th quarter of a tie game. But this is a head coach that has absolute confidence in his offense. And they repay that trust by not just getting a first down, but getting big yardage as well.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. He's got room to roam. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Big play that time on the catch and run. 37 yards.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, 4th quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And they will take a 7-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Flushed out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a gain of 35.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Throwing again is Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard of the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They run again with Harris. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. 106 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Pickett back to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick six territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
On second down, this is Harris. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And the Steelers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Here's Pickett. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Boswell's kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And for the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. This is 1st and 10. Watson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Gets this to Moore. Out across the 40-yard line before he's brought down, so a first down and then some. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here's first down. To throw, Watson. Pass complete to Chubb. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Watson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Watson. He'll find Schwartz, complete right side. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 23. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for the Steelers, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get
Nobody do it better than me, not incredibly. I do this competitively, uneditably. These falling silent when I walk up in the building. Worry about their future like I'm here to snatch their children. That line was brilliant. How I'm not already in the millions. Am I not the picture of resilience? Why they test my patience? Hyping all this lame. No one got a brain, they just be liking all the same. This is what the I'm in on industry games. I'm convinced that nobody is speaking my language. I'm a glitter ass, so listen close when I say this. After every feel stainless. I can make a scene go. Everything I wrote gon' smoke, so dangerous. I can make an Einstein feel brainless. But look on the bright side, hope yield changes. I'ma get it started, please give me a pardon. Cause this the type of beat that get the whole crowd marching. Time to shut it down, we make the whole town Spartan. I'm from outer space, so all my homegirls Martian. It's about to get critical, this moment is pivotal. Here to feed the streets that say my influence umbilical. We gon' make it grimy, devil get behind me. Told you I'm the best, I done said it with my chest. So for real, nobody try me.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowd. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really get took. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose my Patron and you suck. Home made way for a prodigy.
And I say, 1 for the money and 2 for the love. We the new era, so whoever may feel they above. Live in delusion, that's an illusion, it's absent. Keep it together, don't act like you didn't know what it was. I'm on a whole nother planet, I'm about to show you. This wouldn't work if we planned it, meaning you won't understand it. We have to rings like a Saturn, this feel like splitting an atom. We got involved with the pattern, so now we up and we at 'em. Watch out for my evolution. Around and start a revolution. I am more than a being, I'm an institution. If I gotta reiterate, that's where I'ma lose it. It's my world and I'm generous and let y'all peruse it. How obnoxious, she ain't got a conscience. She's okay with being a little absurd and pompous. That's because I kill it, then stick around just to haunt it. Waiting on my thank you, be grateful that I would even let you watch it.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowd. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really get took. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I I wish you lose the opportunity and shut. Don't make ways for a prodigy.
Gonna catch your breath for a second. Look at your neighbor and checking. We bout to march, so if you not get to stepping. I done told you who I am. I'm a force to be reckoned with. I think just be mad because my voice is so decadent. I'm setting a precedent. No mistakes and no accident. We ignoring the standard set cause our lowest is passing it. This alone is a classic hit. I'm a verb amongst adjectives. If the industry full of and my words is a laxative. I'm a maniac on these beats. I'm insane and it's not discreet. I'm enraged because y'all ain't see it. I'm spraying on every street, entertaining no whack opinion. Who's saying we not elite? I'm over Balenciagas. I'm changing into my cleats. It's go time. It's showtime. I ain't calming down until this place is a ghost town. Tired of the faking. We bringing back Motown. No sparing this go round. I'm taking no prisoners, so prepare for a showdown.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big frown. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really get it tough. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity and shut. Don't make ways for a prodigy. Touchdown in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big frowns. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really get it tough. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity and shut. Don't make ways for a prodigy.